Hey, my name is Kathleen. I am a registered psychologist currently studying a master's in clinical psychology. Welcome to this week's vlog. Another week, another update on the master's program. I don't really know where to begin. I'm going to treat this as a short diary entry because it's like 10 past 10 and I really need to go to bed. So in psychology, we're always encouraged to reflect. It's like one of the main things that we do in this discipline. So I'm going to introduce a new segment of my weekly vlog where I just share some random reflections with little to no explanation of things that I've randomly thought of over the last couple of weeks. Starting us off with number one, I have recently noticed that my Gen Z therapist peers often use the term slay. And I think it means like good job or cool or like that's great. And I really like it, but I do not feel like I can use it as a millennial. That one's kind of a silly one. On a more serious note, other things I've learned in therapy and about myself in this course is that I feel a lot more confident with the work that I'm doing in my day job, in my job that I'm doing as a registered psychologist. I think just before I came into the master's course, I was already feeling pretty confident and feeling like I found my feet as a psychologist. But this master's program has just kind of really strengthened and expanded my awareness and my skill set and deepened my practice. And now the only way I can describe it is that I feel like I've entered a new layer of therapy where you enter this new kind of flow zone with what you're doing. Like you get really good at listening and empathizing and understanding and working out in your head different things that you could try out that might be helpful with this person as part of the case formulation. And I feel like I'm starting to enter that zone. And I really feel like the Masters has helped in a huge way in finding that kind of flow and confidence. The third reflection that I've had is that you talk in a different way when you're talking to children versus teens versus adults. You kind of adapt the way you're talking to your audience, and it's a bit of a skill to do this transition smoothly. As an example, like if you're working with a child, you might show a lot of high energy, and then transitioning into working with an adult, you bring it down a few notches. And I think something that's really helpful to switch between those modes is to have a little bit of buffer time. It's really good to have some buffer time or have some time between sessions to just kind of like center yourself again. The final thing I'm reflecting on is how busy everything is right now. I don't think I'm in over my head, but I do feel so overwhelmed sometimes when I think about everything I've got to do. I've got to finish all the assessment for my winter semester course, and I've also got to finish all my work for the clinic for my placement one. There's just so much to wrap up and do, and if I start to think about it, I genuinely don't know how I'm going to do it all. And that's what I'm really trying to work on. What are the next steps that I have to take to keep the needle moving with all these different things that I'm juggling? But yeah, I'm definitely feeling how hard this master's is, and I'll unpack more about what the workload's looking like at the moment tomorrow night. In the meantime, I'm going to go to bed. I'll talk to you tomorrow. So the general consensus from everyone in the course at the moment is that everyone's pretty tired and everyone's wondering how they're going to get by for the next few weeks. So to give you a bit of a picture, I'm just going to pull out my little calendar and write down my assignments. I hope this comes up on the screen. Basically, this is my July. The first 3 weeks are going to be full on, especially this week, because this thing here is actually due here. This is my group soup presentation. It's like a case presentation that I have to present in group supervision on Monday the 30th of June. And then I've got my case report due on Thursday the 3rd of July. I've got my WISC video and report due on the 6th of July. I've got a cognitive report due on the 13th of July. And I've got a psychometrics thing. I have to look into this actually, but it's a psychometrics assignment due on the 20th of July. So yeah, that's why I sort of started to not freak out, but just start to feel the weight of all of that, because I'm doing all of that alongside going to the clinic, going to class, trying to have some kind of balance with a bit of self-care and a bit of a social life, and also just doing general life admin. And my golly, it's really, really hard. So yeah, tonight's top hack that comes from one of my peers. Big shout out to her, not gonna say her name, but she told me this today and I really like it. And she basically said, when I have to work on my case report, I just tell myself I'm only gonna do it for 15 minutes. Just 15 minutes of focus time. And then I'll stop. And if she does that, she's happy. If she does that and it gets her into the flow of doing a bit more, she's happy. But I really like that hack, because I am definitely one of those people that look at all the things I have to do and think, how am I going to do all of that? So the thing I like about this is it just makes things feel a little bit more manageable. Tomorrow is Thursday, the day after that is Friday, so the next 2 days are clinic days. Hooray! Bit of a plot twist. I am unwell. I couldn't go into the clinic today. I'm pretty sure it's food poisoning. Bit of an update. It got worse. When I woke up this morning, I thought I was getting like slightly better. And I was like, oh, it's gonna be uphill from here. I was wrong. Now I'm hoping it's on the mend, but I really don't want to jinx myself, so touch wood. It's been frustrating that it's been the kind of sickness where, you know how sometimes when you're not quite well, you can still chip away at a little bit of work in bed? This hasn't been like that. I'm trying not to think about how much work I have to do. I'm definitely a bit stressed. The thing that I've been trying to just tell myself is, all you can do is rest, just focus on rest, like just let yourself rest and not feel guilty for the rest, because the rest is going to help you get better. I genuinely don't know how I'm going to find a way through, but I know that I will, because I always do. My place is freezing cold, and there's this viral video out on TikTok at the moment saying not to buy those little Kmart heaters because they're so expensive. I agree. So this is what I'm doing instead. I've got my really comfy, cushy dressing gown, and then I've got a little hot water bottle for my chair. So I'm just gonna wrap myself up in this. And I've also just got to clear this whole space. It's kind of cluttered and messy, so I really need to sort this all out. And then I'm gonna try and get some work done, stop procrastinating and actually get into it, because it's like midday now and I really, really need to get stuff done. So it's nearly 10 o'clock and I am about to head into uni Monday morning. The weekend was very work focused. I don't really know how I feel about my progress. I think I've done well. I think I'm getting there. I think I still have a lot to do. So I'm trying really hard to kind of celebrate the wins. I'll talk more about the headway I've made later on today, but yeah, I've got to get into uni because I'm going to do my group soup presentation. But I'll talk more about that later because right now I need to get into uni. So yeah, I'm gonna go and do that. Basically, the time right now is 9:45 and I had this plan to do a little bit of work tonight. I did so much work on the weekend there, so I know why I'm lagging a little bit. To set the scene, and I can't show you this because it's quite confidential, but I've got a WISC manual in front of me. So it's like an intelligence test and that's all I can really say about it. And then I've got my laptop to the side and it's got a video of me doing the WISC and I have to rewatch that and create an assignment about it. It's nearly finished, but I've got so much to do. I've got another report due in 2 weeks. I haven't started that yet, and I am a bit nervous about that one. I think it's going to be kind of hard. Also got my case report due on Thursday, technically, but I have a feeling my supervisor will give me an extension for that one. So that's where I'm at with everything. Today was really good. I did my presentation for group supervision. I've decided to talk a little bit about the difference between individual and group supervision. I'll probably do that tomorrow. But for the context of tonight, group supervision, I've mentioned it quite a lot in the vlog, basically where we come together as a group. At the moment, people are presenting their cases, so it was my turn to present a case. And yeah, it was really, really helpful. It's always helpful to get feedback and get some direction and get some more perspective, because it's getting kind of late and I'm pretty tired. I'm gonna leave it there and I will see you tomorrow. Okay. Work's been going pretty well. I don't have many updates. I'm very, very busy with uni. We really are in crunch time at the moment. I am tired most of the time, but I'm also surprisingly calm, and I don't know if that's because I am avoiding looking at the amount of work I need to do, or if it's because I'm optimistic that it's going to be okay. I'm sure it will be okay. I'm gonna get through it one way or another, so it will be fine. Let's chat supervision. Something special about psychology is that it's a regulated profession. And part of what comes into this is the fact that every single psychologist has a supervisor. They receive supervision. And there's two ways that you can receive supervision: individual and group supervision, or as one of my peers dubbed it, group soup, which I prefer. These are essentially two formats where you can get help and guidance and support with your profession as a psychologist. And when you're starting out in your clinical masters or your masters, whatever kind of masters you do, you will have to do a lot of supervision. A lot. In the masters at the moment, we have to do 2 hours of supervision a week. So 1 hour of group soup and 1 hour of individual supervision. And they both have different flavors. So individual supervision is where you sit with your supervisor one-on-one. You only get 1 hour with them, which seems like a lot of time, but it's actually not really. And my hot tip for people would be to go in there with your agenda, know exactly what questions you want to ask, and try and stick to that agenda. Like, prep your supervisor to begin with and say, these are the things that I really need to talk about with you today, and I'd really like to try and get through all of it. And basically, it's a chance to just get some support with your caseload, and if you have any questions or there's areas that you're getting stuck with a client where you just need some extra guidance and support, that's where your supervisor can really come in and give you more perspective and wisdom and share with you their intake from all their experience. I have had 1, 2, 3, 4. I have had 4 different individual supervisors, and I've experienced different styles with each, and I know my preference of what I want in a supervisor now, which is really, really helpful, because that will really set the tone for your therapeutic work. On the flip side, group supervision, it's a little bit different, because it's where you come together with your peers and you talk about a case or something that you're finding difficult in practice that you need to unpack with people and get some more perspective on. And I got pretty used to doing group supervision during my 4+2. I would present a case once a month to a group of peers that I was doing the 4+2 program with, often people I didn't really know. We'd come together and we'd each talk about a case. That was the structure I was really used to. At the ClinicalMasters program, I think everyone's still feeling a little bit daunted by the process, because it's a big thing to share a case with your class and spend like 20 minutes or spend about 10 minutes talking about it, then 10 minutes for questions and have people ask you about it and give you tips. It's just a big thing to kind of do that in person with people. And I definitely felt a bit nervous when I was doing mine yesterday, but I felt overall really happy with how it went, and just so glad that I feel very comfortable talking with everyone in my class. Both types of supervision have different flavors. And I find with individual supervision, I can go really deep into a difficulty. Whereas with group supervision, it's quite broad and I'm getting a lot of different perspective and a lot of different ideas and techniques. And I don't have to take all of them on board, but it's nice to kind of expand my mind to lots of different ideas and also see how different supervisors would respond to things. In group supervision as well, it's not just about presenting a case and talking about it. It can also be about learning a topic, talking about an ethical dilemma or an issue and unpacking it together as a group. Whatever supports someone's learning, I think, is the purpose of group supervision. I think when I finish my master's, I'd probably like to set up a little mini group supervision with my peers if we can, to just keep it going. I think that would be quite nice. I've spoken for long enough. I hope all of this made sense. I'm gonna go and work on my assignment now. All right, I'll see you on the other side. Thank you. After uni now, I am going to get my hair cut. This is the before. This is the after look. It's still pretty much exactly the same as what my hair looked like before. I'm really enjoying having long hair. Had a very chill evening. Yeah, it's actually been quite nice. A nice balance of just relaxing and also doing a bit of work and doing a bit of baking. Getting back into some baking. Feeling really on top of health at the moment, so that's always nice as well. I've definitely got more to say. I've got some updates, but I don't know if now is the best time to do that. Stay tuned. Getting out, going home. I have not filmed anything today. It's just been so busy. It's the weekend now. On Thursday and Friday, I leave the clinic feeling pretty drained, and I just find it hard on those days to give a bit of a debrief about how the ClinicalMasters program is going because I'm juggling a lot. I go into the clinic early in the morning and I come back in the evening, so it's really hard to kind of give any updates on those days, but I guess to fill you in, I'm going okay. I would say that I'm not on top of my work, but I'm also not drowning. I'm not behind. I'm kind of in the middle. I've got so much I have to do. I don't know how I'm going to get it done. I hope that the insights in this vlog help you, especially if you're considering doing a ClinicalMasters application. I do have some news for you guys, but I don't think it's ready for me to announce yet. So I'm hoping I can announce that in the next episode. Stay tuned. It'll come out soon. I wish you guys all the very best with your own psychology journeys, and thanks for staying tuned with my vlog. I really, really hope it helps, and I will talk to you guys again in the next one. All right, bye!